Hey friends, I remember the first time I walked down the baby diaper aisle when I was getting ready to register for my first baby, and I was so overwhelmed by all the choices. But my sister-in-law had told me, just go for Pampers, they're the best. And I thought, great, until I realized there's not just one kind of Pampers, it seems like there's a million kinds of Pampers. So in this video, we're gonna talk about 3 different kinds of Pampers diapers, as well as Luvs, which are also made by the same company as Pampers. With the different kind of Pampers, you'll notice that the first difference is the price. Or it's really, you just get more diapers for the same price. For example, at Target right now, all the large boxes of Pampers are the same price. They're $47.99. But for Pampers Baby Dry, you'll get 204 diapers for that price. For Swaddlers, you'll get 164. For the new Amore diapers, you'll get 132. Or if you look at Luvs, they come in different sizes, but you can get 116 for $18.94, which is only 16 cents per diaper. So between the least expensive and the most expensive, the price more than doubles. So we're going to talk about the differences between these, but first let's talk about what all Pampers have in common. First, Pampers all have lock-away channels. What that means is when it gets wet, it's going to be in 3 lumps instead of 1 giant hump. This doesn't sound like it matters, but it actually is kind of nice when the diaper gets wet. Next thing all of these have in common is a wetness indicator. You'll see the yellow stripe on all of these diapers, and that will turn bluish when it is fully wet. Now, the more expensive Amore and Swaddlers do have that yellow line on all sizes of diapers, where Pampers Baby Dry only has them up through size 2. On the inside, all of the Pampers diapers do have the double ruffle system. Do make sure when you're putting them on that the inner ruffle goes in and the outer ruffle goes out. That really helps to contain the mess and stop leaks. So now let's look at some things that make these diapers different. First up, let's look at the Swaddlers, because this is kind of known as the gold standard of diapers. Pampers Swaddlers is what most hospitals use, and it's often the first diaper that people use. Swaddlers really have a nice soft feeling to them. And on the inside, they have a mesh liner that's supposed to keep the baby drier by keeping the outer part dry while the inner part absorbs the liquid. When I tested the absorbency of the different diapers, I actually didn't find that the liner made any difference. And speaking of absorbency, I was surprised that the Pampers Swaddlers were actually less absorbent than Pampers Baby Dry. The Pampers Swaddlers do have this notch at the top that's meant to go below the umbilical cord. This feature really only matters for the first week or so of the baby's life, and you can fold down the top of any diaper to leave room, so I don't think it's that important. Swaddlers are also nice and stretchy and have really nice stretchy tabs, and they do also have a poop catcher in the back. Also have their own little Pampers characters on them. It's not a licensed character. And they do have a very light scent. They're not unscented, but it's a very, very subtle scent. Next, let's look at Amore. This is Pampers' new luxury diaper, and it replaced Pampers Pure. In case you're curious, this is what Pampers Pure looked like, which is a lot more similar to Swaddlers. Pampers Pure was meant to be unscented and a little bit more natural, but Pampers Amore, I would definitely say, falls into the luxury line. I think it's much more meant to compete with some of the luxury diapers. They say it has a cashmere feel to it, and it really is just incredibly soft and smooth. It feels luxurious. It has similar stretchiness to the Swaddlers, but the tabs are bigger and stretchier, and the poop catcher is a little bit nicer. It has the exact same mesh lining on the inside, but an absorbency test, the Amore did far better than the other 3 in the tests. It absorbed a lot more liquid and it absorbed a lot faster. I was really impressed with the absorbency on the Amore. Some other differences is there is no scent at all with the Amore, and they are elemental chlorine free. If you want to learn more about that, I am going to make a video about chlorine free diapers, comparing the different brands and different types. But do notice that Amore is elemental chlorine free, not total chlorine free like some of the other luxury natural diapers are. You'll also notice that there are no characters on the Amore. It's just a really subtle print and it's very plain. So essentially the Swaddlers and the Amore are pretty similar. They have the same liner, similar stretchiness, but the Amore is thicker, more absorbent, and just more luxurious. With the thickness, the dry weight of the Amore is a gram heavier than the Swaddlers. It definitely feels heftier. The Amore has more of that fluffy tree pulp on the inside, and you can see that when you tear open the diaper. Next, let's take a look at Baby Dry. Baby Dry is Pampers' more value line, and you will see that they're less luxurious than the Swaddlers or Amore. They don't have as stretchy of a waistband, and the tabs are not as stretchy either. And they also don't have the poop catcher in the back. But as I mentioned, I was surprised that the Baby Dry are actually more absorbent than the Swaddlers, but they're less absorbent than the Amore. The Baby Dry also have a little bit stronger scent than the Swaddlers. But personally, I'm really sensitive to scents, and I don't find the Baby Dry scent to be overwhelming. It's still pretty subtle. You'll notice that the Baby Dry liner is also blue, and it's smooth compared to the mesh liner of the Swaddlers. And overall, the outside of the Baby Dry feels a little bit stiffer than the Swaddlers. And as I mentioned, it does have the wetness indicator on the small diapers, but once you get into the bigger diapers, it doesn't have that anymore on the Baby Dry. According to the Pampers chart, the sizing on all of these is the same, but I was surprised when I stretched them out and compared them. The Pampers Baby Dry is a bit skinnier than Pampers Swaddlers or Amore. So it is possible you could stay in a smaller size for a little bit longer with the more expensive diapers compared to the Baby Dry. Next, let's take a look at Luvs. And as I mentioned, Luvs markets itself as a separate diaper brand, but it actually is made by the same company as Pampers. And when you compare a Luvs diaper to a Baby Dry diaper, you can see that they are incredibly similar. They even have the same lining in different colors. And the tabs on the Baby Dry and the Luvs are also extremely similar. You'll see that Baby Dry has Sesame Street characters on it and Luvs has Bluey on it. The absorbency of the Luvs was a little bit lower than the Baby Dry, but Luvs' absorbency was actually pretty much equal to the Swaddlers' absorbency. You'll see that Luvs also doesn't have the poop catcher, and it has the same stiffer waistband like the Baby Dry. The biggest difference that most people notice between the Baby Dry and the Luvs is the scent. The scent of the Luvs is wildly overwhelming. Luvs is the only diaper that I literally cannot stand being in the same room with. That's how strong it is. Some people like the scent of Luvs, but a lot of people really hate it. I did want to mention there's a few other kinds of Pampers I didn't have examples of here because they're for special purposes. Pampers Z's are for overnight. Pampers Splashers are swim diapers. There's also Cruisers 360s and Swaddlers 360, which are pull-on diapers that don't have the traditional tabs, which can be helpful for older babies who are too wiggly for diaper changes. And then there are Pampers Easy Ups that are used for older babies that are toilet training. So overall, these 4 levels of basic diapers, which one should you get? If money is not an object, the Amore definitely is the nicest all around. I kind of hate that the most expensive one actually is nicer. But is it worth the money? To me, probably not. When my kids were little, the diaper I bought most often was actually Pampers Baby Dry. I tried some generic diapers and most of them leaked for me, and I found that Pampers Baby Dry didn't leak and did the job, but saved me money over the more expensive Pampers. And since all boxes of Pampers diapers are the same price, when there's a sale or a coupon, you can use those same sales and coupons for the less expensive Pampers and actually save even more money per diaper. I really wished I could have used Luvs, and I think they would have been great, but personally, I just could not stand the scent. If I had it to do all over again and I was choosing Pampers, I would probably put Swaddlers or Amore on my registry just to get some of those nice soft diapers for when the baby is tiny. But then once my baby was a little bit bigger and that newborn poop catcher doesn't matter anymore, I would probably go for the Baby Dry because it really does the job for a lot cheaper price. Next up, watch my video about everything you need to know about choosing a diaper for your baby. It includes a section about how to solve problems if your current diaper is not working for you. I'll leave the link to that one right here. Check out that one next.